Steve, we left Impodimo in the Madikwe Game Reserve about 5 minutes ago, and we find ourselves now down a little trek. And I can see that we've head down this road following tracks, and from what you've said, it's been lion tracks in particular. The reserve has many really high quality game lodges. It's a big reserve, but I think the fact that you have Shangaan trackers certainly sets the lodge apart from many of its competitors in the reserve. What sort of impact has that had on the game viewing experience?
Well, absolutely. The game viewing, for us, we've seen it from the first time when we first started here 7 years ago. The quality of the game viewing was intermittent. Even the quality of the sightings, the quantity of sightings was less, and the quality of the sightings was also not as good as it is now. But over the last 7 years, working with the trackers, I'll use leopard as an example. I mean, our leopard viewing has increased so much, and I can say it's 100% due to the trackers and our use of the trackers. Lion viewing like this, I mean, we've tracked them way off the road here. There's no other lodge without Shangaan trackers would have found these lions. And we are able to track them and find them because of the skills of the guys. Our leopard viewing, we had one sighting a month, and we are now looking at one to two sightings a week now. That's the average that we're getting on leopard. And the difference is that before, that one sighting a month was probably a leopard on top of a hill somewhere. Now we're getting high quality, close in 10, 15, 20 meter away sightings, animals on kills, females with cubs, that kind of quality of sighting, and it's all down to the trackers.
The reserve's in a malaria-free area, and it occurred to me as I sat on the deck a bit earlier on after breakfast, and I watched one of the guides following a dung beetle, in fact, just below the lodge, and in tow were 4 or 5 little kiddies. All of them had to have been under the age of about 10 or 12, I guess. And I thought that was quite an interesting touch, the fact that the guide had taken a bit of time to take some kids out on what looked like a bit of a lodge bumble. Is that something that happens quite often?
Well, yes. We do accept kids, and we take kids, and we've got a kiddies program. I mean, I felt that, because I've got children myself, I felt that it would be remiss of me not to accept kids at a lodge like this. And so we developed a children's program, the kiddies program here at Impodimo. And part of the program is that we will offer kiddies activities, kiddies safari activities, which are different to adult activities. I mean, the adult game drives are much longer, much more intense, and they're designed with a more mature audience in mind. But with children, you need to slow things down a lot more. You need to provide a lot more distraction for them. They are not prepared to sit around for 10 or 15 minutes just absorbing the environment. They need to be
almost stimulated, isn't it?
Stimulated. Every 3 or 4 minutes, you need to do something with them. And they also need to get involved. They can't just listen. They need to get involved with, touch things, touch it, smell it, taste it in certain circumstances as well. And we encourage that with our guides when we do the children's activities. We've also got the other children's activities that are at the lodge, in the kiddies' room, for example, arts and crafts, and we'll do baking with the children as well, and casting of tracks down by the waterhole. We'll take some plaster of Paris and go and cast animal tracks and let them take them home and label them and show them as show and tell at school.
Over a sort of typical sort of two-night, 3-day stay, beyond the big five, given that the reserve kind of straddles this crossover zone, so you have animals typical of the sort of east and the western part of the southern continent. What else? Give us an idea of the sort of type of animals you're likely to see.
Now, that's the beauty of Madikwe. We've got such a wide variety of game, and the populations are quite dense. So you'll see large herds of the typical blue wildebeest and zebra, not just ones and twos. Obviously giraffe and all the game that you could expect to see in the Kruger Park or down in the eastern part of the country. However, you'll also see western species such as red hartebeest, gemsbok. You'll see Cape fox, perhaps. You'll see a lot more unusual wildlife here as well. Not just the same stuff that you'll see elsewhere. Springbok, as well as impala.
And I guess not to forget, of course, the wild dog and the cheetah.
Yes, wild dog, obviously, Madikwe is well known, renowned, in fact, for the wild dog viewing. And the beauty is Impodimo is actually stuck in a little valley, and the valley acts as a funnel. And every time the wildlife go in our area, almost without fail, if they're in our region or in our neighborhood, they will make a kill in the valley, and they will spend a lot of time in and around our valley. So we get to see the most amazing sightings of wildlife.